Excel 2016, Module 6, Part 6. In this segment, we will be dealing with hyperlinks. So most people think of a hyperlink as the ability to link to a section or a website, something out on the internet. However, a hyperlink really is any time you link to another file or another location. So we can even create hyperlinks that will take us to different worksheets within a workbook, or we can create some that will open up different types of documents, such as a word processing file or a PDF file. Or we could, in fact, link to the internet. So let's go ahead and go back into our file that we created earlier. It doesn't really matter which file you do this in, because the key thing is to just make sure you understand how to work with the hyperlinks. I'm working with the UC totals break file that we created in the last segment, but you really can be working with any of the files. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our documentation worksheet, and we're going to go to cell A8. This is a cell where we're going to place a hyperlink. We're going to create a hyperlink that will open up a Word document. So what we're going to do is go into the Insert tab and choose to insert a hyperlink. Now it brings up a list of files. Notice this is the list of files that are in the location where this file was located. There's one out there called a UC memo, and that's what we want to click. We want this to say it's going to go to a link us to an existing file or a web page in the current folder, and then you choose the file. So you can see that what it is showing here are the files that it's going to open. Up here at the top, we have the text that will display in the cell. So I'm going to type, click here to read the executive memo. And then we're going to click OK. Now you can see that it created the hyperlink. It puts it in the blue format as well as underlining it. And then it will allow us to use that hyperlink. So in order to use it, I can hover over it. And you'll notice it gives me a screen tip. Excel creates this screen tip for us automatically. We do have the ability to change it. If I click on that hyperlink, it will then open up the file that I have specified. And if I don't have the software open, it will open up the file and bring up that memo. Now, one thing you might want to consider when you're working with files that you're trying to open with a hyperlink, the person that is clicking on that hyperlink has to have the software on their computer that matches that file type. So in this example, I would need Microsoft Word. If I didn't have it, then I might get an error message, or it would open up a file and it might be in a format that I couldn't read. One way you can avoid this, if you're not sure what the users will have access to, is you can save your information as a PDF file. And almost everyone has a PDF reader, so they would have some capability that would allow them to open that hyperlink. Okay, now let's say I wanted to edit that hyperlink. If you do a right click on the hyperlink, you'll notice one of the options says to edit the hyperlink. And we have the screen tip button right here. This allows us to specify the message that it's going to say as the screen tip, instead of using the default that Excel created. So I'm going to click to view the executive summary for 2017. And then accept that change. Now you can see when I hover over it, I get the screen tip that I have specified and not the one that Excel defaulted in. Let's go down to A10 and create another hyperlink. This time we're going to create a hyperlink that will move us to the summary worksheet. So we're going to say to insert a hyperlink, and this time we're going to say to a place in this document. So what I can do is I can specify a worksheet as well as a cell that I want it to go to, and click OK. Now when I click on this hyperlink, it moves me to the new worksheet. So you see, you can even create hyperlinks inside your documents that will move you from one screen to another. So let's go ahead and we're going to edit this hyperlink. Whoops. We're going to change the text display to read, go to summary worksheet. And I'm going to tell it that I want it to go to A15 instead of A1. My screen tip, I can change it to read, click here to go to the summary worksheet, cell A15. So now when I hover over that, you can see I get that as my screen tip. And when I click on it, it takes me to that particular cell. So that's how you can work with hyperlinks within Excel. You need to pay attention to, on the hyperlink button, this option over here, so you know exactly where it's supposed to be taking you to, because there are different types of links. The next thing we will be looking at in this segment are working with templates.